Good day, students! For today's lesson, we will focus on solving quadratic equations by completing the square. Let's start this lesson by the definition of term. When we say quadratic equation, it is the equation wherein the degree or the highest exponent of our variable is equal to 2. Okay, para mas maintindihan natin, proceed tayo sa ating example. Ayan. So we have x squared plus 10x is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation because the highest exponent of our variable, when we say variable, ito yung letters sa ating expression, is equal to 2. Ayan. Then this term is called as quadratic term. Next is this is called as the linear term. Bakit siya tinawag na linear term? Because the exponent of our variable or ang exponent ng ating x is equal to 1. Ayan. So in order to solve this quadratic equation using the completing the square, ang una nating gagawin is we have to divide the coefficient of our linear term into 2. So the linear term in this example is 10x. So the coefficient of our linear term is 10. Ang gagawin natin, we have to divide 10 into 2. So we have 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. Ang next natin gagawin is we have to square 5. Paano yan siya? So ang mangyayari, magiging 5 squared siya. And then ang gagawin natin, we have to add the square root of 5 to the both sides of our equation. So ito yung mangyayari. Ayan. So we add 5 squared to the left side of our equation and we add 5 squared to the right side of our equation. Okay. So next natin gagawin is we have to factor yung nasa left side natin. Then we have to add yung nasa right side natin. Okay. Since x squared plus 10x plus 5 squared is a perfect square trinomial, the factor is equal to quantity of x plus 5 squared. Okay, then equal to 0 plus 5 squared. 5 squared is equal to 25. 25 plus 0, the answer is 25. Okay, teacher, paano natin nakuha yung x at saka 5x plus 5? So nakuha natin siya dito sa first term natin and then dito sa last term natin which is the 5 squared. Ayan. Okay, so ito na yung equation natin ngayon. Next natin gagawin is kailangan nating walain yung squared or yung exponent natin. So ang gagawin natin is we have to apply the square root principle. Ano yung square root principle? Ang square root principle is you square root both sides of our equation. So, ang mangyayari magiging, ayan, so yung equation natin ay nasa loob na ngayon ng radical sign. Okay, so the square root of the quantity of x plus 5 squared is equal to square root of 25 is equal to, ayan, so mawawala yung squared at saka mawawala yung radical sign, ang maiiwan is x plus 5. Then the square root of 25 is plus minus 5. So lagi nating tatandaan na kapag nag-square root tayo ng number, there is two values. So it can be positive or negative. So the square root of 25 is positive, negative 5. Ayan. So ang next natin gagawin is we have to get the values of x para makuha natin yung solution natin. So ang gagawin natin, we have to transpose plus 5 to the right side of our equation para si x na lang yung maiwan sa left side. So, when we transpose a number, example, we have plus 5. Ayan, we have plus 5. Ang mangyari, magiging negative 5 siya kapag transpose natin. So, ito yung mangyayari. So, we have x plus or x is equal to plus minus 5 minus 5. Ayan. So, ang positive 5 naging negative 5. Ang next natin gagawin is we have to separate the plus sign at saka yung minus sign. Paano yun siya? We have here, so x is equal to plus 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. x is equal to negative 5 minus 5 is equal to negative 10. So in this process, malalaman na natin kung ano yung solution sa ating quadratic equation. So the answer is x is equal to 0 and x is equal to negative 10. So that is our example number 1. Now let's proceed to example number 2. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 12 is equal to 0. Ang una natin gagawin is we have to separate the quadratic term. Ito yung quadratic term natin. At ang linear term sa ating constant term. Ang constant term natin, ito yung walang variable or walang kasamang letters. Ayan, so we have to separate that one. So ang gagawin natin, we have to transpose negative 12 to the right side of our equation. So when we transpose number, mag-change yung sign. So ang mayari, magiging x squared minus 2x is equal to 12. Okay, next natin gagawin is yung kanina, we have to divide the coefficient of our linear term into 2. So in this case, the linear term natin is negative 2. So i-divide natin siya sa 2. The answer is negative 1. Next natin gagawin, we have to square negative 1 and add to the both sides of our equation. So i-add natin siya sa left side ng ating equation at i-add natin siya sa right side ng ating equation. So ang mangyayari, magiging x squared minus 2x plus negative 1 squared is equal to 12 plus negative 1 squared. Next natin gagawin, we have to factor the left side of our equation and we have to add the right side of our equation. So since x squared minus 2x plus negative 1 squared is a perfect square trinomial, so ang factor natin is we have x minus 1 squared. So the same process sa kanina, saan natin kinuha si x minus 1, kinuha natin si x sa ating first term, kinuha natin si negative 1 sa third term natin. Then we have 12. The square of negative 1 is 1. That is why we have to add 12 plus 1. The answer is 13. Ayan. Okay. Ang next natin gagawin, we have to eliminate the exponent. Ang gagawin natin, we have to apply the square root principle. So we have to put a radical sign to the both sides of our equation. So ito yung mangyayari. Ayan. So nilagay natin siya sa loob ng radical sign, yung sa left side at saka right side ng ating equation. So matatanggal yung exponent natin na 2 at saka yung radical sign. Ang maiiwan is we have x minus 1. Then we have the positive minus square root of 13. So hindi nakalabas si 13 sa radical sign kasi hindi siya perfect square number. Ayan. Okay, so ito na yung equation natin ngayon. Next natin gagawin para makuha natin yung value ni x or ng solution natin, we have to we have to transpose negative 1 to the right side of our equation. Okay, since it's negative 1, magiging positive 1 siya kapag nilipat natin sa kabila. Ayan. Okay, so ito na yung equation natin. Next na gagawin natin is we have to separate the plus minus ng square root of 13 natin. So ang mangyayari, we have x is equal to square root of 13 plus 1 or x is equal to negative square root of 13 plus 1. So ganun lang kadali mag-solve ng quadratic equation using completing the square. So I hope may natutunan kayo sa akin ngayon. So that ends our lesson for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!